going to do today, I've been having a lot of trouble with my BMW with the battery going dead. So I started doing some research. I'd leave the car overnight and all of a sudden the battery was dead, and I thought, you know, that seems kind of awkward. So when I got in the car, I noticed there's a blower running even when the car's off. So like I said, did a little research on the internet and found out that that's a pretty common problem with the E39. This happens to be a 2003 530i. So after doing this research, I found on the internet that the final stage unit blower motor resistor very commonly has problems. So I went ahead and got another one. It seems like a pretty easy replacement. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go in here and just right down in the passenger side of the car, we're going to go down there and try to replace this. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I want to show you a little trick. Well, not a trick, but something I learned. I was having so many problems with the battery going dead. I'd go to work and I'd leave the car in the parking lot, and I'd have to have somebody jump me by the end of the day. So, and that's before I learned that this blower was blowing in this FSU piece and so forth. So, what I did is I went ahead and put one of these switches on, which actually is pretty nice. So I just got into the habit of, just turning my battery off, just so you could be confident that when I got back to my car, it would actually start. So I just wanted to show you that. Hopefully, I will never need that again. Okay, what we need to do here is there's a screw right up in here, and what we're going to have to do is pull this whole carpet panel back. Now, I got to be real careful because there's like 2 clips in here, and you don't want to force it because if you break the clip, you'll never get that piece of carpet back in there. So essentially, we're going to just take out this one screw up here, and then we're going to be real careful, and we're going to kind of slide that back an inch or two, and it should come right out. So essentially, what we need to do is just slide this back. And then there's 2 clips right here. You gotta be real careful, you don't want to break those clips. But you can see they just kind of slide in there. And that will get us to where our FSU is kind of up in this area right here. Okay, I went ahead and took off this, I guess it's a guard, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it sits underneath the glove box. It's just got some insulation stuff on it. So it just slips back. So really just kind of give it a little tug. Be careful, it will come out, but just give it a little tiny tug and it should slip right out. It just stays in. It's got these 2 little clips in the back, so it just slides on in. That'll give us a lot more access to actually get to the FSU in the back. Okay, to give you a little bit of context, let's back out a little bit. So that's where we are. And the FSU is actually in a very difficult place to get to. Thank you, BMW. But there it is. So what we need to do is we need to pull that cable plug out. And the FSU is actually behind that. It's actually part of the FSU. So that's the first thing we need to do is go ahead and pull that clip out. Okay, so I'm going to do that in just a minute, and then we will be able to access the actual FSU and pull it out and do the replacement. Okay, I've got the plug out, and it's a little difficult to see. I think you can maybe see it up here, but this had never been taken out, I don't believe, so it was a real pain to get out. So I actually used a pair of pliers. That seemed to work better. I was able to get a little grip on it. It was very difficult trying to get my 2 fingers in there. So when you're doing the clip, there's two clips on the side that you need to get to. And let me see if I can get it up there. Anyway, you could do it with your thumbs if you have really good grip, but it's just hard because it's just hard to get up in there. So the pliers was actually a help to me. Just to give you a little context. On the new one, that's what it looks like. So that's what the clip is going into, and you can see on the sides that's where the clips go on both sides. So you just have to get a really good grip or get a pair of pliers and then just kind of work it out. Okay, I don't know if you can see, there's a clip right at the bottom of the FSU, and I think all we got to do is kind of push that down to kind of get it out. It's a little difficult to see. It's right there and where the light is shining on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push that down and get it out, and then we'll work on getting the new one in. Okay, so I finally got it out. It actually pulls out pretty easily. Once you push that clip down, you know, you just kind of work it out, and it comes right out. Now, let me just show you a comparison. This is the old one, and this is clearly the original BMW part. I actually got this one off of Amazon's mobile website, or car website rather, and so you can see it clearly looks different. And I read a lot of articles on this, and it said that it didn't make a difference. I don't know, it's just a redesign, or I don't know if these have more surface area or what, but anyway, it says it'll work, so we're going to go ahead and put this new one in and give it a try. So pretty easy. All you got to do is just push down on the bottom of the FSU while it's in there, and it should pull right out. It wasn't nearly as hard as getting that plug out. Okay, so I got the unit back in. I don't know if you can see up in there, but there it is. It's a little hard to see, but you can kind of see behind. There's the plug. It's a little bit in the way, but the unit is back in, and if you push, just kind of push real hard, it'll snap right back in. And then what I'm going to do now is put that plug back in, and we should be good to go. I just have to put the carpet panel back on and this piece under the glove compartment, and we should be good to go. Okay, well, now's the true test. What I've been noticing in the car, aside from my battery issues, is like, for instance, when I put my defrost on it, when I first got the car, I would get like max power. You know, I could hear the blower, and it was, you know, the defrost was working really well. And I've noticed over time, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it blows hard, some other times it hardly blows at all. And it's been getting worse. I hadn't really noticed it until I noticed my battery problem, and now it's all kind of fits together. So the test now is, when I hit the defrost button, is it gonna immediately give me max blower capacity? So let's give it a try. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put the defrost on. I'm gonna shut the door, maybe you'll be able to hear the blower better. And there it is, immediately it came on. And you can see it's got max power there, you can hear it. That wasn't happening before. Before we replaced that unit, you might have heard a kind of a trickle of air coming out, and then maybe as I was driving it might go up a little bit, but you know, I noticed, you know, it might take 10 minutes for my car to kind of defrost the windshield, where before it was almost, you know, 2 or 3 minutes and it was ready to go. So I think we got that fixed. And again, this is a pretty common problem that I read about on the internet with the E39 in particular. So if you're having you know, heating and air conditioning problems, and you notice that your battery's running dead, it very well could be that just this one little part. By the way, I bought that part on Amazon. I think I mentioned that, and it was about $44. I think if you bought it from BMW, it would probably be 3 times that much. But we'll see. We'll see how well it lasts. And now that I've done it, it's pretty straightforward. So it wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought. It was just a little difficult to get to. Okay, so that's it. That's how you put a new FSU into your E39. Thanks.